Hello, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Annette Malati, and I'm a Senior Director here at Oracle and one of the hosts of this podcast series called Appcasts. Our goal is to help you get the most out of Oracle applications by listening to thought leaders, customers, partners, and Oracle executives, along with commentary and opinions from me, your host. So here we go. I am very pleased to have with me today Andy Katz, Director of IT from Komori America Corporation. Welcome, Andy.
Hello, Annette.
So today, Andy's going to talk to us about how and why Komori upgraded to Oracle eBusiness Suite 12.1 and the benefits they're already starting to experience. So let's go ahead and get started. So Andy, before we get into your upgrade, I think it would be really helpful to share with the listeners a little bit about Komori, who they are. So you can give us a brief overview about Komori and your role. That would be great.
Sure. We're one of the world's largest printing press manufacturers. Our main focus is on offset printing technologies. We were founded in 1923. We're considered an industry leader in technology and innovation. All our manufacturing is actually done in Japan, and we have subsidiaries and dealers in 50 countries. So where I work at Komori America, we're the North American headquarters, and we're based just outside Chicago. And Komori America houses our spare parts depot, field service coordination is done out of this office, sales and marketing, and the finance operations are done here as well. My role at Komori is I'm the Director of IT. I've been here for 16 years. Hard to believe, and am responsible for all IT operations and systems here. I'm also acting as the apps DBA for our eBusiness Suite installation, and I also have several functional responsibilities for several of the modules.
So let's start by telling our listeners about your current eBusiness Suite 12.1 footprint.
We're currently live on eBusiness Suite 12.1.3, running on an 11GR2 database. Our database is about 180, maybe 200 gigabytes in size. We have about 100 users, 50% here in the building, and 50% are remote off-site users. The modules that we licensed include inventory, order management, payables, receivables, general ledger, fixed assets, payments, purchasing, and then the list goes on. BI Publisher, Teleservice, Bill of Materials, Advanced Pricing, Warehouse Management, Internet Expenses, Time and Labor, Projects, and we have a minimal HR footprint, mostly just for user and approvals. When we went live, we chose to do a vanilla implementation, so we really have minimal customizations, mostly just OA framework personalizations. And we use Discover 10G for reporting, and I actually just loaded a Fusion middleware stack to load Discover 11G, and also to get an idea of what the new Fusion middleware stack is going to look like.
That's great. You have a pretty broad footprint, and you really represent almost all of the families within eBusiness Suite, such as financials, procurement, projects, supply chain, and human capital management. So thank you for that overview. How did you go about evaluating whether or not to upgrade to Oracle eBusiness Suite 12.1, and what were your business drivers?
We were on 11.5, 10.2, and we've been on that for the 4 years since we went live. We migrated off another system in 2007. We really needed to prepare for growth and for other changes that are coming down the pike here at Komori. And also, we didn't want to repeat an earlier experience with our previous ERP system, which was so heavily customized that we fell way behind in support, and we actually couldn't upgrade it to take advantage of any new features or fixes. And another big driver for us was we were nearing the end of support, and we wanted to stay current and not fall behind on the technology side. So after seeing 12.1 with all the advancements and the new capabilities, we really saw tremendous benefit that Komori could realize if we upgraded to the latest release.
Well, that's a great story. Customers want to know about the project team, how long the upgrade project take, and stuff like that. So can you share with our listeners how long the project took, as well as the process that you went through?
As I mentioned, we started at 11.5, 10.2. We started looking at Release 12 in August of 2010. So from the first technical upgrade we did, that was in February of 2011, to go live, which was Labor Day weekend, September 4th in 2011. So it was about a 6-month project for us. And we took advantage of the office closing over the long Labor Day weekend for our downtime, for our database downtime. And we took a big bang approach where it's actually 3 upgrades when we went from where we were up to where we are now. The database we took from 10GR2 up to 11GR2, and that was about a 6-hour process. The apps technology stack we took from 11i up to release 12, and that took about 22 hours. And then we took it from release 12 up to the current 12.1.3 patch set, and that took about 23 hours. For the project itself, we did all the technical and functional work in-house with myself and a co-project leader. I handled the technical and some of the functional duties. I also oversaw the third parties. We outsourced the remediation of our customizations and personalizations, while my colleague handled project scheduling, executive sponsor management, testing oversight. We had over 400 scripts that she had to keep on track and in process. And also she handled the bulk of the functional work, which is the financial SME. We shared issues logging, and as issues came up, we both would fix them as they apply to our specific expertise.
So what a lot of our customers are always interested in hearing about are some of the benefits that are received that our Oracle customers are actually getting from going to Oracle applications. So, Andy, it'd be great if you could share with our listeners the benefits that you're already seeing from this upgrade project.
We really just wanted to stay current. We didn't want to fall too far behind, but fortuitously enough, within a few months after doing the upgrade, a business requirement came down from finance where they wanted to more easily break out some specific revenue cost ratios. So this led us to learn and set up the subledger accounting, rules-based auto account generator in R12, which actually was not possible in 11i without customization. And also having some of the forms-based screens that they've moved to HTML or OA framework in R12. That gave us a lot more flexibility in doing our own personalizations that normally, or in 11i, we would have had to hire out for. So we're saving a tremendous amount of time, work, and cost in the area of customizations.
So other customers considering an upgrade are always interested in hearing about lessons learned from projects like this. So is there anything that you'd like to share with our listeners that are about to embark on an upgrade project?
As my DBA, Sandra, always hammers into me, test, and then when you're sick and tired of testing, test some more. I mean, we had a saying we posted in our training lab, which I'm sure our users are sick of hearing and seeing, which is if you use it, test it. Really, the point of it is you really want to avoid finding out that a critical function has changed in R12 or it doesn't work post-go-live. You really want to find it and you want to fix it when you aren't affecting production. That's number one. Get management buy-in. The testing, we're quite small, so the testing really taxed our users. So they had to do all the testing, front to back-end testing, into their normal full-time jobs. So it makes all the difference if management's both aware of and they're supportive of this tremendous effort. I mean, it really took a lot. And it gives the users the time to get that testing done. From a technical standpoint, create a step-by-step upgrade guide and do as many of the upgrades as you can. Each one teaches you something new, and it helps tighten up the upgrade document so that come go-live, you should be able to just walk through it and complete the upgrade more efficiently. And lastly, make sure you have enough technical resources available when the actual physical upgrade takes place, because one DBA cannot possibly do this by themselves unless you have unlimited outage windows, which I don't know anybody that has. As I mentioned earlier, some of the upgrade steps took us almost a full 24 hours of computer time, and our footprint's really quite small in relative terms. So you really don't want to have a burned-out shell of a DBA sitting in front of a screen, probably right at the moment when you really need a really sharp mind to fix some glitch or something that popped up. So I can't recommend strongly enough to split up the duties so someone fresh is always monitoring and engaged in the upgrade process itself.
Wow, that's great advice, Andy. Thank you so much for sharing that great information. So for customers who are interested in learning more about upgrading to Oracle E-Business Suite 12.1, they can go to www.oracle.com and then navigate to Oracle E-Business Suite. And right on the main page, under the banner called Customer Highlights, you'll see a document that contains a substantial listing of customer success stories. So here you'll get a taste for customers across a variety of industries and geographic regions, and you can really look at those stories and see what the benefits that those customers are receiving. Also, don't forget about My Oracle Support. The Release 12 Information Center contains some fabulous resources. You can find the Information Center in the Knowledge Base under Tools and Training. There you'll see a link for eBusiness Suite, then a link to the Release 12.1 Info Center. There's a great white paper out there called Planning Your Oracle eBusiness Suite Upgrade from Release 11i to Release 12.1. So I'd highly recommend taking advantage of that. So that's about all the time we have today, and I'd like to thank Andy so much for joining me for this interesting and informational Appcast, and thanks everyone for tuning in. We have many more Appcasts available for you to listen to, and we'll continue to have new Appcasts each week. So if you haven't had a chance to tune in to other Appcasts, you can download a show from iTunes to your iPod or iPad, subscribe to an RSS feed, or go to www.oracle.com/appcast and listen via your computer. Until next time, this is Annette signing off.